Welcome to Lost in Thoughts, a space for stories, reflections, and life's absurdities. Who am I? Well, I'm someone like you, navigating this wild world, often getting a little lost along the way. But maybe, just maybe, getting lost is how we find what matters most. So sit back, relax, and let's explore this beautiful mess together. It was a cool summer's day. The year is 1980. Call Me by Blondie is the #1 song. And two brothers, myself and my older brother, are going to spend overnight, sleepover, with my grandparents for the first time. My grandparents are kind, honest, religious, and strict. My brother and I are the oldest of the cousins or grandkids, and my grandparents at this time hasn't had too much experience taking care of grandkids. My grandmother takes her time to cook. If we're going to eat at 1 o'clock, probably food wouldn't come out till about 3 o'clock. But I have a grandfather, and he's blind. I used to have this game with him where I would bring him all kinds of toys and trinkets to put in his hand. And I would say, "Grandfather, tell me what's in your hand." And he would feel it, move it around, and he would guess pretty often correctly. I would say probably 60% of the time. If he knew what it was, he would be able to guess. And so my mom was working. She works late nights. I guess it's a pretty good time. And we didn't have a babysitter. My father was working. I think he was out of the city or out of the state. And we're sitting there, and the scene is for us is as a Gen Xer in the 1980s, we were pretty much free range kids. We got to roam the streets. There was no Instagram, no social media, no computers, nothing to really hold us back. Video games had just started, kicking in. I think Atari was just about. I think that was like the first time that came out. So there wasn't any big game platforms to play. It was board games, and then I think Atari when that first came out. And my best friend who lived next door had all the games that I could ever want to play. And we lived in a cool neighborhood. We got to roam the streets. It was safe. I mean, we walked blocks just exploring the neighborhood, kind of seeing how far we can go and just getting a good lay of the land. And it was fun because all of my friends who lived in the neighborhood, we just hung out, go downstairs or go to a neighbor's house, just open the door and walk straight in. It was that kind of life. And it was wonderful, I wouldn't take it back for anything. Anyways, so imagine us having the ability to kind of go and come pretty much when we wanted to and just be back by streetlights. My mom didn't really have to worry about that. Didn't have to worry about us in a sense, outside of when it was time to eat and when it was time to come home. But the one thing we really never did was sleep over anyone's house. So it was our first time actually spending the night away from home. And so I knew my grandparents, but I wasn't like, all super close. I was as close as a 5-year-old could be. I didn't see them that often. I only saw them when we went to church. And so we went to their house. Parents dropped us off, and we're there. I have my magazines, car magazines, remote control car magazines, and my Hot Wheels. That was my form of entertainment, my traveling entertainment. I had a little suitcase that had probably about 16 to 32 cars I can pull around with me at any point in time. My brother, I don't know what he had. I would probably have to ask him, but I thought it was, I don't know what he was doing at the time. But apparently I was playing, kind of messing around, and we're in this, we go from a full-blown, house, one-story house with, 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, living room, den, backyard, front yard, all neighborhood, to now we're down to a 1-bedroom apartment, the living room and a kitchen. And we can't go outside. That's against the rules. Apparently, me and my brother got into an argument, so they separated us. So now I'm stuck in the bedroom for hours. My brother is outside in the living room, also for hours, and we're just miserable. At least I'm miserable. I play with my cars, I read my magazines, left from front to back multiple times, but there's not much I can really do there except for use my imagination. And so I did. I got by. We ate. I don't remember the food that we ate, but we ate and then leave. This whole time, my grandparents haven't really engaged with us, haven't really said any words, had any games, nothing to entertain us, nothing to really interact with us. It was just like, we're there, like micro jail. You have a warden, comes looking by, checks you, opens the door, make sure you're okay, closes the door, and that's it. But no, like, hey, let's go for a walk, or hey, let's do this, or do you guys want to play this game, or you guys want to hear a story? Nothing at all. So it felt like prison. For a 5-year-old, it felt like 5-year-old with freedom. It felt like prison. And evening comes. We sleep outside or on the living room in our makeshift beds, blankets, sheets, pillows. All that stuff's fine. And we fall asleep. In the middle of the night, I wake up. It must be, maybe it's like 12 o'clock. I really don't know. But I think I would say, let's guess it's 12 o'clock. And as I wake up, I see my brother, who's 5 years older than me, packing. He's packing his clothes. I thought I was dreaming. I woke up. I really woke up. It's like, yes, my brother is packing. So I whispered to him, hey, what are you doing? And he says, I can't take this anymore. I don't like you here. I'm going home. I'm leaving. And it dawned on me that my brother is really serious about this. And when my brother says he's going to go, I believe him. Because my brother doesn't lie. And so I negotiate with him. I say, you got to take me with you. He's like, no. You can't go with me. You're going to hold me back. You need to stay here. I was like, no. You're going to take me with you. If not, I'm going to wake up everybody right now, and nobody's going nowhere. Now he knew I was serious, and I would have woken everybody up. So he says, all right, come on, let's go. So I packed my stuff, which I didn't have much, but whatever I had was fitting in my backpack. And we get up, get our stuff, we grab 2 sheets, and we leave. Now, I have no idea how we're going to get from our grandparents' house to home. I know it's far. It's really far. And I probably walked maybe half the distance, because I used to walk from school to home. It's probably about half the distance. But there's a big steep hill with no sidewalks. It's just a winding canyon road that comes down. That's the shortest trip there. And I'm thinking in my mind, reflecting back now, that it must have been 15 miles walking distance. I did my own research, kind of guessed where my grandparents were living. And in reality, it's about 2.7 miles. But for a 5-year-old, it feels a lot longer than that. There's a lot more steps. And we're going on a road that I don't know how we're going to get out, because it's up elevation. But I trust my brother on how to get there. And we take off. And we're walking down the street like 2 little ghosts, because we have these sheets over our heads and our little backpacks. And it looks like if it was Halloween, no one would be the wiser. But it wasn't. It was summertime. And just about when we're about to get to the main road, my uncle pulls up swiftly, opens up his van, and grabs us and says, "Get in here." You get inside of that, and they take us back to my grandparents' house. I don't remember any of that, like them being angry at us or whatever. I don't remember any of that stuff. I clearly am sure nobody was really happy about it. But they did end up calling my mom, and probably fear of us trying to leave again on the same night, and didn't want to have that worry, didn't want to take on that responsibility. And my mom thankfully came and picked us up and took us back home, where we felt safe and secure, and we were totally happy. Now, did we get punished? I'm sure we did. I don't know. But whatever punishment we got, I don't remember it. And if we got it, it was worth the punishment, because I was just astonished that the feelings I was having, my brother was having the same feelings, to the point where he was willing to leave. And had I not woken up, he probably would have left on his own. Leaving me, which was tripping me out. I was like, "Wait, you willing to live? You were willing to leave me here? You go home." And I didn't even know if we had keys to the house. Even if we got home, I didn't even know if we would be able to get in the house. So that would be a whole other thing. But maybe them stopping us probably saved our lives. But we were bold back then, and there wasn't that much that was going to stop us. But that was our first night in our grandparents' house. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lost in Thoughts. I am grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.